Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Thursday, and welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a brand new episode of Pressing Matters. This is episode number 18. I am your host, Daniel Torres. I hope everyone is having a phenomenal week so far. Full swing of soccer. We're in it. Champions League playoff matches have just wrapped up. We've got the draw tomorrow on Friday, so it's going to be interesting to see what teams are drawn together. And we've also got MLS. MLS is back. The La Liga title, it continues to shift back and forth between two clubs. And then we have got the UEFA Nations League groups finally set. So we've got a lot of pressing matters to discuss. Once again, welcome to the show. And the first pressing matter we are going to talk about is the defending champions, Inter Miami, going on the road to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum to open up the season against LAFC. And now this was a very anticipated matchup because LAFC, honestly, it's coming into this season one of the clubs that we're all going to have to watch. We are going to anticipate them as one of the favorites to win it all. Just because of the duo of Heung-min Son and Denis Bouanga. And they've also, people talk about those two a lot, but they also have a phenomenal midfield, and then they have a world-class, world champion goalkeeper in Hugo Lloris. And so for Inter Miami, there was signings in the offseason. They hit their targets, as Jorge Mas said yesterday, in a small kind of mixed zone at the Freedom Tower here in Miami for an event with FIFA, and said that they've hit all their targets for their signings and they don't anticipate to open up the checkbook and go for more players, which when we talk about how this match went for Inter Miami, you would figure that maybe, just maybe, they should open the checkbook and look for some reinforcements. Obviously, Sergio Reguilon is injured, got hurt in the preseason, and so he's not available right now. We'll talk about here how Inter Miami lined up in this game as I pull it up here. So Inter Miami lined up with, of course, new goalkeeper Dane St. Clair. They go Ian Frey, Peluca Falcon, Mikael, Noah Allen, Yannick Bright, Rodrigo De Paul, Silvetti, Messi, Talasco Segovia, and their new signing, Beterame from Liga MX, who was praised to be, a big fixing the solution. It was a big hype, which, to be honest, the last time Inter Miami signed a Mexican, they reacted the same way. It was Rodolfo Pizarro. And yes, Pizarro started off great, but then his chemistry and kind of mix with Gonzalo Higuain kind of ruined everything. And then that signing went to garbage and went to waste. Only one match. I have to see more of Beterame and see what he can do. But in this match, really didn't do much. Messi himself didn't do much either. We'll get into his antics post-game. But really didn't touch the ball much. Got a couple tackles that I thought were clean and I thought were fair. Of course, Messi fanboys will say it wasn't, but they were. I think the referee did a good job. Again, nothing much from De Paul. St. Clair left me scratching my head. There was one goal where I have no idea why he is so far out there standing, and you literally just watch the ball get touched over him like this, and it resulted in a goal for LAFC. Don't even get me started. Denis Bouanga was cooking Inter Miami's back line. Cooking. And so was Heung-min Son. Both of them together were a problem for Inter Miami. And this just looked like a team that couldn't get anything going. Inter Miami and Javi Mascherano are a team that they like to control possession. They like to control the game so that they can play the way that they want to play. But against LAFC, that was impossible, and it was evident that Inter Miami looked uncomfortable being in that position, which often when Inter Miami is not controlling the game, they look uncomfortable. And defensively, they didn't look strong. Let's look at some of the subs they made. So Ian Frey came off. Facundo Mura went out. This is the one that left me scratching my head. Yannick Bright started this match. He comes out, and Tadeo Allende comes in. My opinion, I think that Tadeo Allende should have started this match. Literally, the reason why you won an MLS Cup is because of Tadeo Allende. Allende, when they finally decided Suarez is no longer a starter, we're going to start Allende. Look what happened in the playoffs. Inter Miami literally took off with Allende starting and with Silvetti and Messi. So the fact that they don't do that, they trust a lot now in Berterame, which again I still need to see a lot more of because the season just started. They don't put Allende up top or in the wing. They put him into Yannick Bright's position, which was more of a defensive midfielder. He was playing more back towards the defensive line. And, you know, there's a saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So why did we change? Why did Miami change this? Why did they change what was working? Could it be because Berterame is now in the mix, which he was not subbed out? Silvetti makes way for Luis Suarez in this match, which Suarez did nothing. I got questions. I got questions for this squad. I need to see more of it. Obviously, it's first game of the season, but if they're going to face teams like LAFC, who can punch back, they're going to have a tough time. And especially if their goal is to win the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and we know the record of Major League Soccer teams in that tournament. There's only, I would say, 3 or not 4 teams that have won that tournament in all of its years of creation and existence. It's all been Liga MX teams that have won that tournament. Granted, now you can say, oh, with Leagues Cup, you know, MLS teams have won Leagues Cup, and the Liga MX team hasn't won Leagues Cup yet because it's been Inter Miami, Columbus Crew, and Seattle Sounders. All right, but I still think CONCACAF Champions Cup in our hemisphere of the world, I think that winning CONCACAF Champions Cup is more notable and respected than winning the Leagues Cup. And so there's still, I think, questions for me in the squad. There was coachable questions for me of the squad, of the substitutions and the starters and why they were made. And we took a look at LAFC. How did LAFC line up? They went in the same formation as Miami, 4-2-3-1. They had Loris, Valencia, Courtois, Tafari, Segura, Delgado, Martinez, Tillman, Bowanga, and Heung-min Son. And that is with players that we usually see from LAFC that didn't play. I mean, Schaffelberg didn't play. He is amazing. Schaffelberg is amazing, and he's terrorized Miami before this time in Nashville. Ryan Hollingshead didn't play. Was a substitute, but was not put in the game. He is also another LAFC player that has been, you know, a pillar, a cornerstone for that club. I think what we saw, so LAFC obviously, again, with that midfield of Bouanga, Tillman, Martinez, Delgado, it's a strong midfield. And right now for Inter Miami, you start to look at, okay, how are we going to replace Sergi Busquets and Jordi Alba? Obviously, Messi knew how to play with them, was comfortable with them because those are his boys. And obviously from their time in Barcelona, they understand each other. But now that they're gone, who is going to give Messi what he likes, how he likes to play? How are they going to feed him? You know, and it wasn't only how's he going to be fed. Messi would feed Alba and Busquets, and plays would just develop that way. How's Messi going to do that now? And it goes back to my point that Tadeo Allende and Silvetti together with Messi, that is a trio that worked. And it is a trio that brought them the MLS Cup. But of course, you throw Berterame in the mix now. And you kind of force, since you bought him, you kind of force to play him and kind of have him gel and mold with Messi. I get it. He just got here. Needs to figure out how to gel with Messi. I think that will take time. But again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think that it's that. I think it's a big portion of missing Alba and Busquets and now trying to figure it out. But it was a disastrous result for Inter Miami in the first match of the season. And LAFC, I got to give it to them. They're looking really good, really, really good. I was looking at the bracket for the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if LAFC finds themselves in the Champions Cup final. But it was a telling result on Saturday night. It was a very telling result by LAFC and Inter Miami, and obviously Dane St. Clair, who they get, MLS goalkeeper of the year last year with Minnesota United. It was not a good showing, not a good performance for him. And then now they got Orlando City on Sunday Night Soccer, their rivals, which is not an easy place to play. We know Messi has a history there at Inter & Co Stadium playing there. It's not an easy place. And no matter what type of Orlando team is over there, whether they got talent, whether they don't got talent, they make it difficult since it's the rivalry. And I mean, news just coming out that Antoine Griezmann is in close negotiations to joining Orlando City, which made me again scratch my head because I wouldn't figure that he would land in Orlando City if coming to the MLS. But it seems close to being done. It seems like he's going to depart Atletico de Madrid and join Orlando City. And I think that is going to spice up the rivalry even more. And it's going to be fantastic for Major League Soccer to get a star as himself in the league. Of course, Timo Werner now in the league. James Rodriguez in the lead. Obviously, Messi. It's big time. It's big time. So we're going to talk about it's still dealing with this match, but it's the second item that is a pressing matter, and it is the behavior of Lionel Messi. It continues to be a focus here. So, Messi received quite a few tackles during the match. There's one near the box, which he rolls around. I thought it was clean, all ball. Complained about that one. There is one where he is running and he's taking a step forward, and you can see that he is falling on his own. Loses his footing, falling his own. LAFC player just gets in front to shield the ball with his body. He claims that the LAFC player elbowed him in the face. That's what he claims, and he rolled around on the ground. The problem was after the match. Video footage came out of the referees. I'm not going to say the dressing room because Major League Soccer has said it wasn't the dressing room. It was a designated room that everyone apparently has access to. But I'm just going to say a hallway, a room, an entrance. That's what it is. The referees walk through this entrance, and we can see Lionel Messi entering that room with Luis Suarez holding him back and taking him out of there before something else happened. This has happened last year. And what was the results in that situation? A 3-match ban. 3-match ban for this specific player that did this. What does Major League Soccer say after one day of investigating this? They say there was no violations found. It wasn't the referee's locker room. Everyone has access to this hallway or this room, whatever it was. It's all fine. It's all fine and dandy. It is apparent, and this is what my problem is with Don Garber in Major League Soccer. And mind you, last year Messi did get suspended for missing the MLS All-Star game, but that is only because media and fans put pressure on Commissioner Garber in the league to actually do something about it. If not, I'm sure nothing would have been done. It is evident that Lionel Messi gets preferential treatment in this league. He has done a lot of things that he has gotten away with. Shove people out of the way, no foul. 2 seconds later, he gets kind of pushed and he's asking for the card and the foul. Referee gives it to him. Missing MLS All-Star games. This situation. If we're going to hold people accountable for these sort of actions, you need to hold everybody accountable. I don't care if he's Messi. But they won't, because I'll tell you the truth. If he would have gotten a suspension, that means he would have to miss this Orlando City match. And this Inter Miami Orlando City match is on Sunday Night Soccer, which MLS is heavily promoting for people to watch, which Commissioner Garber hasn't been so honest on that either, is that the MLS and Apple TV Season Pass subscription was not working. The product was not working. And they can tell you otherwise and try to fool you otherwise that, oh, yeah, it was working. We had the numbers. No, you didn't, because if you did, you wouldn't have to cancel it and now say, oh, it's free for anyone who gets an Apple TV subscription. Because before you get the Apple TV subscription, then you have to pay extra to get the MLS Season Pass. Not anymore. Now it's just free for everybody if you get Apple TV. I'm also sorry to tell you, Don Garber, that Formula One is probably going to wipe MLS away on the Apple TV platform this year for folks in the United States. MLS is trying to be global. Obviously, they have a global superstar in Messi, but the product is just not good. It's Formula One. It's worldwide as well, but the product of Formula One is good. I'm super happy that the league is bringing all these stars. I think it makes the league competitive, but there is still a favoritism there towards Miami because of Messi, and they didn't suspend him because he is the cash cow. They're going to continue milking Messi and Miami as much as possible to try to bring in numbers for people to watch MLS. And let's just be honest, people who have Apple TV or watch MLS are going to watch for Messi. They're not going to sit down and watch Minnesota take on Salt Lake. It's just not going to happen. I do because it's part of my job, and I love soccer. And I have worked inside Major League Soccer. I like Major League Soccer as a league. So I do watch it. But like me, it's very few, very rare. I don't think anyone's going to sit down to watch Minnesota and Salt Lake. I think that people are going to just tune in for Messi, and that's about it. So that goes into the preferential treatment and the non-suspension, but I think it's ridiculous. I don't think his actions are showing actions of a leader. I don't think it's a good look, and I think he continues to get away with it. This situation is just another piece of no discipline for Messi, but discipline for others. So, anyways, let's talk La Liga. So, we go to this past weekend. Barcelona 3-0 over Levante. Goals from Marc Bernal, Frenkie de Jong, who's now out for almost 4 weeks with an injury, and Fermin Lopez. Levante is towards the bottom of the table of La Liga. And then the day before that, Saturday, Osasuna and Real Madrid, no Mbappe. There was no Mbappe yesterday in the Champions League against Benfica. He has pain in his knees, or in one knee, should I say. Let's take a look how Madrid lined up in that game. So they went Vinicius, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Goulet, Valverde, Carreras, Alaba, Asensio, Carvajal, and Courtois. Asensio, and this last goal, what can I tell you, man? I mean, the guy went sliding straight through, and it was a wide open shot for, I believe it was Budimir, or excuse me, it was Raul Garcia who did it. Wide open shot towards goal, past Courtois. I saw that coming from a mile away. But the first goal, VAR, on Carreras. I mean, does he step on his foot? On one angle, it looks like yes. The behind angle, no. I think it was a soft call from VAR, and that already puts Madrid in a bad situation. Budimir scores. Vinicius Jr. comes back to save the day, scores. It's 1-1, and then obviously that second goal gave Osasuna the win. It's been, Osasuna is a very difficult place to play at. El Sadar is the name of the stadium. It is a very, very difficult place to play at, and Madrid has not won there. I think once in the last several years. It's a difficult place. Arbeloa confirmed that as well. But the frustration is Barca makes a mistake. You capitalize. You take the lead. And the very next week, you give it away. You go out there. You don't look. It's just, I don't understand this team, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. They go out there in the Champions League and they play like, they're putting all their guts and balls on the wall. It's a European night. And then they come to La Liga where some of these teams, they got 1,000 times more talent than some of these teams. And they just play like, it's whatever. No effort. And granted, you see effort on some players more than others, but it's like you just got the lead back from La Liga. You crawled your way back in points to grab this lead. And once you grab it, you're going to toss it right back to Barcelona. I mean, we look at it right now, Barcelona, 61 points, Real Madrid, 60. So it's still 1 point lead for Barcelona, so it's still close. And we look at who Madrid has left as we enter March. Getafe, Celta Vigo, Elche, Atlético de Madrid, Mallorca, Girona, Deportivo Alavés, Real Betis, Espanyol, Barcelona in the second Clásico, Real Oviedo, Sevilla, and Athletic Bilbao. And then we look at what Barcelona has left. They have Villarreal, which is going to be a good game. opportunity there for dropped points. Athletic Bilbao, which is another tough match. Sevilla, Rayo Vallecano, which is another tough match. Rayo is always difficult to play. Atlético de Madrid, Espanyol, Celta Vigo, Getafe, Osasuna, Real Madrid, Deportivo Alavés, Real Betis, and Valencia. So this is not over. This title race is not over, and you can see there by the schedule of both teams, there is opportunity for drop points. And so I think this is going to come down to maybe the Clásico, the second Clásico of the year. I think that this can come down to. I think it's going to be close. Obviously, I think both teams domestically are good. But in Champions League, obviously, I don't think Madrid is strong enough. I think they've got issues, and I think Barcelona as well is not strong enough to take it. I think these are both teams that are dominant domestically. But the league, I think it's going to keep going back and forth to the very end. I think it's going to be close like that to the very end. And I think that this second Clásico, it might decide it. So we're going to have to sit back, watch, and enjoy La Liga this year. Final topic of our pressing matters. It is the UEFA Nations League groups are decided. We're going to go through them. So Group A, we've got France, Italy, Belgium, and Turkey. Group B, we've got Scotland, Switzerland, Slovenia, and North Macedonia. Group C, Albania, Finland, Belarus, San Marino. Continue here. And then we've got Andorra, Latvia or Gibraltar, or Luxembourg. And then we've got Azerbaijan, Lithuania, Liechtenstein. We've got Cyprus, Montenegro, Armenia, or again, Latvia or Gibraltar. Hungary, Ukraine, Georgia, and Northern Ireland. And then Germany, Netherlands, Serbia, Greece. Spain, Croatia, England, and Czech Republic. Portugal, Denmark, Norway, and Wales. Let's talk about these in the beginning here. France, Italy, Belgium, Turkey. France, obviously, for sure. Italy, they haven't even qualified for the World Cup yet, and it's been disastrous for just Italian football in general. Belgium, I think it's past their golden age. So I think France and Turkey out of there. Germany, Netherlands, Serbia, Greece. Serbia will be a test, but I go Germany and Netherlands. Spain, Croatia, England, and Czech Republic. I got to go Spain and England. I think those are the best two teams of this group, even though Croatia will be a challenge. Portugal, Denmark, Norway, and Wales. I will go Portugal and Norway because of Holland, of course. Scotland, Switzerland, Slovenia, and North Macedonia. I go Switzerland and Scotland. I was close to picking Slovenia, but I go Switzerland and Scotland. Hungary, Ukraine, Georgia, Northern Ireland. I'm going to go Ukraine and Georgia, actually. Israel, Austria, Ireland, Kosovo. I'm going to go Ireland and Austria. Poland, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Romania, Sweden. I'm going to go Poland. And right now, between Romania and Sweden, I'm going to go Sweden, even though Romania will be a test, I think, for sure. Albania, Finland, Belarus, San Marino. I'm going to go Finland and Albania. Cyprus, Montenegro, Armenia, and Latvia or Gibraltar. I'm going to go Montenegro and Armenia. Faroe Islands, Kazakhstan, Slovakia, Moldova. I'm going to go Slovakia and Faroe Islands. Iceland, Bulgaria, Estonia, or Luxembourg. I'm going to go Iceland And actually, I'm going to go Luxembourg here as well. Let's see here. Last few teams. Liechtenstein, Lithuania, and Azerbaijan. Liechtenstein and Azerbaijan, I will go with both. Those are the groups for the UEFA Euro Nations League. I just gave you my picks of just breaking down right now of what that will look like. Obviously, the World Cup's coming up, so I think that's more important at the moment. But just wanted to put it out there and just announce what it looks like right now for the UEFA Nations League. Those were the groups and just initial thoughts of what I think could happen there. But it's time for Team of the Week. Your team of the week is going to be American. It's going to be Major League Soccer. It's LAFC for what they did to the defending champions Inter Miami at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Almost 80,000 in attendance, and they proved with Denny Bouanga and Heung-min Son that they are a force to be reckoned with in North America. I think they have a good chance to win the CONCACAF Champions Cup. I think they have a good chance to win the MLS Cup, maybe even Leagues Cup. Who knows? Campeones Cup. I just think they're that good. I think they're a fantastic team. And I think with that duo and that midfield and the amazing keeper that they have, I think that they are the best team in North America right now. And they absolutely proved it with the thrashing, the 3-0 victory over Messi and friends. And that is why LAFC is my team of the week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your week as we approach the weekend. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Thank you all for the support, not only of Pressing Matters, but for all the shows on the Plug Talk Sports Network. We appreciate all the support. Make sure you continue to tune in to all of our social media, all of our shows throughout the week. We very, very much appreciate it. So for myself, Daniel Torres, we'll see you guys next week for a new episode of Pressing